And just like that, we back with part 2. Shalom, beloved brothers and sisters. Here's part 2. We may not taking this one too far, but anyway, before YouTube got on our copyright disclaimer, under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Viewer discretion is advised. Alright, so since we kind of like finished with the whole my whole thing, we watched this, so I'm gonna jump to another story because of the earthquake. But then again, like we said before, this is plague number 5, destruction by earthquake, and plague number 10, thunder voices, which is the weather. Let's keep on moving. Okay, this is in Spain. All right. 2 million liters of red wine flow street of Portuguese village. Wow. Red wine. Very symbolic. Very symbolic. Okay? Red wine. Sweet. Well, this is the actual red wine, but not sweet red wine. There is a difference. Remember when the demon asks you for some sweet red wine and bread? All right.
E o perigo aqui está. Epa, isto realmente. Aquilo que dia se esperava veio a acontecer.
There you go. All right.
O resultado seria Elvira.
Very symbolic. Very symbolic.
Vejam como é que vai ficar.
That's happened in Portugal. So, you guys kicked the Jews out of Portugal, so a lot of sweet red wine is coming from Portugal. Be on the lookout.
Residents watch as a fire rages at the American Iron and Metal facility. The fire broke out around 1 a.m. and crews have been battling it for more than 12 hours. Incident Commander and Fire Chief Kevin Clifford said the fire is rooted deep within a pile of crushed cars, but says it's too early to say how the fire started.
I do feel at this point we're beginning to make progress, and probably up to an hour ago, I didn't have that sense. So I think we are beginning to make progress.
Flames could be seen shooting several hundred meters in the air Thursday morning, with large amounts of black smoke billowing out of the crushed pile of cars. Public Health says that plume is likely filled with chemicals and contaminants, and anyone who sees or smells smoke should shelter in place.
If you are elderly, very young, and anyone that's living with cardiovascular or lung health conditions, this is a very concerning event.
American Iron and Metal is a scrap metal recycling facility that has had issues in the past with large explosions and 2 workplace deaths. Residents nearby are concerned as homes are mere meters from the site.
It seems pretty big. I don't know, they keep seeming to have issues with this place. I'm fully supportive of recycling and stuff, but it is pretty close to a lot of homes.
Andrew Miller says the fact the fire has been burning for so long worries him. Fire Chief Kevin Clifford said that fire may have been burning for several hours before smoke became noticeable, and it may be until Friday morning before it's considered contained. Global News reached out to American Iron and Metal for comment, but has yet to hear back. Natalie Sturgeon, Global News, St. John, New Brunswick.
Of course, you know, they won't come over there and then give a update because the fires are all over the place, man. Let's keep on moving. Okay, that's excuse me. That's a luxury cruise ship charging $33,000 per people to go into Arctic. Okay, this is a cruise ship, Brethren. $33,000 to go in the North Pole. Why they are charging so much? Why they are charging? Well, Big Liver, you have to understand the water is treacherous. This is treacherous, and that is treacherous. Dangerous. Nah. Greenland is the last white stronghold over there. Yeah, check the suicide in Greenland. See what's going on over there. Go ahead and check this. $33,000 per people, man. 11 days, and they get stranded. Oh, we need to go to the North Pole, man. We need to go there, see what's going on. And they've been there for days. It seems like the Gentiles cannot enjoy anything, man. Like, whatever they try to do, things that used to be luxury and chill, nothing happened. But a hell of a lot of things are happening. Okay, that's the Democratic representative Mary Peltola's husband Eugene was killed in an Alaska plane crash. And I have no idea who this woman is, but this fellow is dying in a whatever Alaska airplane and things like that. We got brethren in Alaska. We got a lot of people in Alaska, and the mighty one moved my spirit upon Alaska, and I fell in love with the state over there in Alaska. It's just big leave. I don't know that much people over there, except for one brother that we know over there, and that's it. If I knew folks over there, I would have visited Alaska, but. Yeah, great glory. Let's keep on moving. Okay, this is there you go. 120 years old hotel caught on fire, and that's what you're seeing. The fiery conflagrations are all over the place, beloved. They're all over, and the people can't breathe. They can't be in the hotel. They can't enjoy everything. Everything is all over. Everything is upside down. That's what's going on, brethren. Okay, let's keep on moving.
A happy occasion with close friends. A baby shower at a neighborhood restaurant. The mom-to-be is beaming. But the happy day ended very differently. 28 patrons at the restaurant, including the mom-to-be who is 7 months pregnant, got violently sick from food poisoning.
28, you know what to do. 7 months, you know what to do. Now, beloved, what you are seeing here, you see those people are having an issue with their food. You see that they're having issue with their food. And of course, we do know this is plague number 3 right there, okay? Destruction by pestilence among the cattle. Cattle mean food sources, whether it's water, whether it's actual cattle food, whether it's another animal that we don't eat like a coyote or a dog, whatever that is. Anything that is edible they can eat, there's a pestilence in the midst of that, okay? Let's keep on moving.
12 people went to the hospital.
12 people went to the hospital. We're not making this up, okay?
It happened at Kumo Sushi and Steakhouse in Stony Brook, New York.
Happy birthday!
A 6-year-old's birthday party was also held at the restaurant, and 7 guests also got sick. But fortunately, none of the kids. Why? Apparently, none of the kids ate the fried rice, but their moms did. Lori Wineclaw is the mother of the pregnant woman.
How scary was that for you to see your daughter, 7 months pregnant, going through that?
Extremely. I was extremely upset. She had to actually call her OB doctor, make sure everything was okay and that the baby wouldn't be affected.
And Daniel Krause is the mother of the 6-year-old birthday girl.
What was going on in the bathroom?
A constant projectile vomiting, diarrhea, horrible.
Her name is Danielle, just like the storm or the hurricane. They don't want to call it there. They just, well, it was a storm. But just like the hurricane Danielle that destroyed Libya and Greece and all that place. Her name is Danielle. We know Danielle 12:1. Michael is in the midst. Krause, I believe Krause is the same as Quartz, the crux, the X, the 4 elements, and things like that. It's all over.
Couldn't stop.
It almost sounds like a scene from Bridesmaids.
Yeah, I know. That's what everybody's comparing it to.
Oh my, okay.
We spoke to food safety expert Howard Cannon.
There you go, another expert. I didn't even know we had a food safety expert, but Howard Kane.
Much.
With, of course, the course behind him, the 4 element, and 4 element with the armored Michael. The 4 element with the eagle, with the phoenix and stuff like that. Thank you, brother.
Like the sponge attracts contaminants to a sponge and holds moisture. Rice does the exact same thing.
A baby shower.
Ah, that's a nice tip from the expert. Don't cook your rice with sponge. That's a note that Big Levi need to put in his chef book. I don't know about you, who cook their rice with sponge? Well, I guess a lot of you go down there to Bikini Bottom and cook your rice with SpongeBob. Yep, they have food expert now, poison food expert. They always have to bring those. Anytime those people can't explain something, they have no idea what's happening. They have no idea what happened. They brought an expert telling you the sponge absorb contamination. It's a freaking sponge. You clean with it. Unless this sponge, you put it inside of a pineapple in the bottom of the ocean. But what you do, you clean with the sponge. Of course, it's going to have bacteria contamination and stuff like that in it. But rice also do the same thing. You got to be kidding me, man. Thank you, expert.
A kid's birthday party. Wonderful family celebrations that turned into a nightmare.
All right, so why Beloved, I bought that? It's just for the past few days, we've been watching videos that we keep seeing those people are getting sick from their food. And it seems like they all keep getting sick. And of course, Virgin, they're going to drag a few 2/3 and them saying, oh my God, this thing is affecting all of us. No race, gender, and all that good stuff. Yeah, whatever, man. Why don't you take us, well, why don't you shove a living snake up your...
Arsonist responsible for setting more than a dozen fires in the past few days in Reseda. 6 of those fires breaking out overnight.
KTLA5's Kimberly Chang joins us live in Reseda, where residents are dreading another night with an arsonist on the loose. Hi, Kim.
Hi, LAFD says they do not have a suspect description, although they have received information about someone who was seen in the area. They haven't heard from witnesses who have actually seen someone light these fires. As you mentioned, more than a dozen fires. They've responded to more than a dozen over the past few days, including one right behind me, and several occurred over a 2-hour time frame early this morning. A nearby Ring camera captured a vehicle fire near Bassett Street and Yolanda Avenue in Reseda. A pickup truck filled with leaves and branches was parked in front of a home when it went up in flames early Tuesday morning. Neighbors told me the fire burned part of their tree, but firefighters put it out before there was any further damage.
I'm sad and I worry.
But you didn't see anyone?
No anyone passed.
According to the LA City Fire Department, there's been 14 suspicious fires in the Reseda area since Sunday. Most of them involve trash and vegetation. The LAFD Arson Counterterrorism Section is investigating, along with LAPD's Major Crimes Division. So far, they don't have a suspect, but there is a person of interest they want to speak with.
In this area, I think we've had a total of about 12 rubbish fires in the past 3 nights, all with a similar description of a suspect.
This resident has his suspicions.
It is a homeless person, unfortunately, that needs help.
Wow. Wow. A guy with this kind of shoes describing a homeless person is doing this. Well, they need to, you know what, let me enlarge this right quick to see the image right here. They need to investigate this guy further because his shoes is not the same color as his sock. It seems his shoes have somewhat some soot on it. Could it be possible that dude is the one who set up the Yo, could it be possible is this dude setting up fire, okay, go home, change his clothes, and then quickly put the same shoes he been putting all those fires around, put those there, and then come over there and say, oh yeah, well, you know, it's not me, it's a homeless guy. I mean, clearly you can see he's homeless, right? Come on, dude, man. Nice shoes, by the way. I used to love Air Force One, low top.
She has started fires in front of our house. We've called the police. The police basically told us it's hands off. They can't do anything.
And while the search continues, some residents say all they can do is lock up even more.
I park actually on my driveway, but I leave my driveway open all the time. So with all this going on right now, you know, I'm just gonna start closing my driveway, you know, because it's just unsafe.
It's crazy, ridiculous. Evil person would do this.
All right then.
Investigators do have several pieces of video that they're going through, but they are seeking additional witnesses, videos, or photos. If you have any information.
If you have any information, give the police a tip. Like I said, I don't like to tip the police. They don't do a good job for me to deserve my tip. Yeah. Always looking for a snitch to tip. Nah, man. I don't tip the police. Let me see what we got here. For number 2, fiery conflagration of the cities. Let's keep on moving.
Everybody keeps saying it's going to get better. How is it going to get better? Our economy is so fucked that I work a full-time job. I make $21 an hour working 40 hours a week. I have no extra expenses, no bills out of my living. I have one credit card that's maxed because I've lived off of it. But other than that, I don't have cable. I haven't had cable in 10 years. We have cell phones, but, you know, that's required to live on. But other than that, nothing extra. On paper, my bills are $2,701. My income is $2,710. Do the math. $9 a month before I pay for food, gas, car repairs, any entertainment. There's no money for that. And my car is dying. It's paid for, so I don't have car payments now that I'm going to replace. And I don't know how to do that on $9 a month. $9 to feed myself, $9 to buy a car, $9 for insurance. Yeah. So at the end of the day, this is me because I worked 8.5 hours a day, knowing that it's not enough, that it won't be enough. Fuck you, Ontario.
Great glory. So, a lot of them are feeling the heat, and a lot of them, they are seeing what this thing, they keep listening, people saying, it's gonna get better. Don't worry. Trump gonna make this better. Trump gonna come, he's gonna bring all the jobs back to America, he's gonna build a wall. Of course, not that physical wall and the Mexican, but the wall between us and them. You know, when I'm talking about them, I mean the children of the mighty one. And then things are going to get better. But it doesn't. Okay? So, alright, this video, one of the camp brethren online, you know, Esau is mentally breaking down. The curses is starting to take hold. And those guys are slowly and surely switching their narrative, okay? Because Esau is kind of like God to them. Nothing can ever happen to him, and he will bring Jacob's trouble. He's in control, the elite and all that. But slowly, surely, they start to realizing, wait a minute, there's something going on with those people over there. They are catching hell, but they're not catching. They are in hell. So, yeah, that's what our people went through, and it's your time, man. It's your time to go through that. All right, let's keep on going.
Detectives believe that the victim was brought over from South Korea sometime in the summer under the guise or under what she thought to believe joining a religious organization.
That victim's body was discovered by police late Tuesday night in the trunk of a car in front of the Jeju Spa parking lot. The victim's name hasn't been released since her family lives out of the country and hasn't yet been notified. But these are the suspects who are now under arrest in her murder.
So those guys, they brought a woman from South Korea, and they promised her that she's gonna be on some new religion or whatever, and then they starve her to death. They beat her, and starve her to death. And that's what those people did, brethren. Okay, that's what they did to their own people. All right. And lately, you've been seeing a lot of Moabites in the news. Like, there's a lot of crime going on. Moabites and more than crime. Like, what the hell is what's going on, man? The curse is truly taking places. Okay, I've studied a lot of people, and this is a whole family, Hung Jin Lee, Jun Yom Lee, Ga Wom Lee, Jun Ho Lee, Eric King Lee, over there in Halifax, Canada, on Main County. Something about the name Lee. I forgot what Lee means. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Define the name Lee. There we go.
According to Verywell family, Lee is a given name derived from a surname of English origin that means clearing or meadow.
Clearing. Clearing the land. Get rid of. Eric and Lee is clearing the land over there, wherever it's going to land. So that's what they did to this poor woman. They got her, beat her, and then they left her in the car to death. That's what they do.
Eric Young, who police say was driving the car containing her body, Junho Lee, Gawam Lee, Hyun Ji Lee, and a juvenile only 14 years old. They're all facing charges of false imprisonment, felony murder, concealing the death of another, and tampering with evidence. The warrants state that the victim was confined without legal authority. She became malnourished, was beaten, and ultimately died. Warrants also state they did hide the victim in a room of a home, then wrapped her body in a blanket, put it in a trunk that was later left at the Jeju sauna.
I believe she might have been deceased sometime late August. She might have been in the back of the vehicle for a few days.
Police say this is a picture of the basement where the victim was kept, beaten, and ultimately starved to death.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
All right then, no comments here.
El Nino phenomenon.
El Nino.
El Nino.
El Nino. We've been hearing about it a lot in recent months.
Record heat.
As temperatures around the planet reach dangerous highs and the world enters uncharted territory from the impacts of global warming. So what is El Nino? And why are climate experts so worried that it's about to make things even hotter?
Again with those experts. But anyway, let's listen.
The phenomenon was first noticed by Peruvian fishermen in the 1600s. They recorded periods of warming around Christmas and nicknamed the pattern El Nino, or the Christ Child. Today, you can see that warmth building off the coast of South America.
So it looks like this tongue of much warmer than normal temperatures stretching right across the equator towards Asia.
El Nino happens when winds that blow across the central Pacific Ocean from east to west, that's from South America towards Southeast Asia, diminish or even get reversed. This pushes the warmer waters back towards South America, where they accumulate off the coast of Peru and Ecuador, pushing colder water further into the depths of the ocean and leading to an overall pattern of warming as a result.
So it tends to make the global air temperature, which is measured near the surface, spike. So we're pretty concerned that this year we may see a new record global temperature.
El Nino affects weather patterns all over the northern hemisphere, and especially in the winter. In Canada, the effects of El Niño are felt especially on the west coast, with stormier, warmer winters. Scientists fear the impacts of this El Niño could be supercharged. That's because all the carbon dioxide humans have emitted into the atmosphere by burning fossil fuels has already made the world a much warmer place overall.
Alright, just go ahead and stop this garbage right there and move to the next few days.
Here we are at the base of a supermarket in the Minhang district of Shanghai.
Okay, this is China, okay, for the people that are like, oh, well, big leaf, China gonna be this, China gonna do that, China gonna do this, that.
And as you can see, all the shops are shut and there isn't a soul to be found inside the supermarket.
This street was once the go-to place in Shanghai for musical instruments. Let's take a look around now. It seems like there are hardly any shops selling instruments anymore, especially over here. As you can see, a lot of the shops have closed down. Let's check out the other shops on this street. Many of them have shut their doors as well, including a few up ahead. Across the street, besides a bank and a hotel, there's only one shop still open for business.
According to the man who recorded the video, the once highly famous musical instrument street in Shanghai is now only left with a few hotels and office spaces, with most of the other shops having closed down. This indicates a substantial decrease in consumer demand, signaling that the renowned musical instrument street of Shanghai can no longer revert to its former glory.
Countries like the US and others in the West are now shifting their orders to countries like India and Vietnam, putting businesses like ours in a really tight spot.
Due to the
a bunch of garbage, man. You guys are, oh well, they're switching their business to India and Vietnam and Mexico and stuff like that. Now the Mexican and the Vietnamese and India are going to become superpower. They're going to compete against the US, just like China is, and stuff. We're gonna go to another 400 years under the so-called the Indian, the Mexicans, and then the Vietnamese. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, really? Is that what that is? You people think your stuff your stuff going to hold forever? Nah. This thing is not being stopped because the West haven't put orders. You are the West. China is the West. The West is China. You guys are both 83. The mighty one put a stop into this thing. How long we are into this stuff right there? Let's see. Okay, 27. Probably got another 3 more minutes to go with this one. I don't know. Just saying.
Well, tonight, an urgent search for an escaped inmate. Investigators say Christopher Bates made a run for it this morning in Gulf Shores.
Yeah, Gulf Shores PD telling Fox 10 News Bates was on a work detail when he bolted for freedom, wearing only a T-shirt and underwear after ditching his prison clothes. Fox 10 News reporter Ariel Mallory following the story for us all day.
And Ariel, you were told that it's possible Bates came towards Mobile.
Yeah, that's right, Lenise and Bar.
For some reason, those guys all keep escaping. Like, what the hell is going on? Why so many prisoners keep escaping? What's the message here? Those guys keep it's been happening for months now. We keep reporting on this. That the Brazilian guy escaped. This would escape. Last time I went to North Carolina, I was with some family chilling, and then they like, hey, this is where that guy, and the brother was like, this is where that guy, that inmate escaped. It was all over the news. We need to be careful. I'm like, what? Yeah, they keep escaping. Like, what the hell is going on? What seems to be the issue, man? People keep escaping from prison. You know, are you guys power weak or what's going on out there?
And the last update that I got from a detective was around 3 o'clock. He said Bates left the Gulf Shores area, managed to steal a bike, and with the help of an accomplice, possibly get into a car and head towards Mobile.
And so we stayed inside. I mean, it's pretty scary.
An intense search underway today to find an escaped inmate and put him back in prison. Christopher Bates is serving a 20-year sentence on a robbery charge. Gulf Shores investigators say he was on work detail this morning around 11:30 and made a run for it with nothing but a T-shirt and his underwear on. These photos show the hectic search out on County Road 8, one of the places police say he was spotted.
We had just come home and I saw 2 or 3 sheriff's cars driving up and down the street.
See, this guy is giving a tip, man. You know, he's giving a tip to the police. Like, you know, why are you giving them a tip? Like, why? Come on, James Broderick, man. Come on.
I was very concerned as to what it was because a helicopter was flying overhead also.
James Broderick is one of several people concerned about what was happening at the Whispering Pines RV Resort off County Road 8, especially after just experiencing a similar situation.
We just locked the door and stayed inside. We were in Western New York when the inmate escaped down in Warren, PA, and we were only about 40 or 50 miles north of that, so I mean, that was just a couple months ago.
According to jail records, Bates has been in and out of Metro for the past 15 years. His last known address is in Mobile.
Now take one last look at your screen.
So he is going to go straight back home. He could do that. He could do that. Some of those guys, I don't know. Excuse me. Let's keep on going.
But she is dead.
We start with the family of a girl hit and killed by a Seattle police officer while she crossed the street. Janavi Kandula's family is dealing with new heartache after body cam footage released by the police department this week. It shows Officer Daniel Otterer laughing and making jokes about...
Again, the name Daniel keep popping up. Daniel 12 and 1, which we know what that is. And again, beloved, we don't care about that, okay? We don't vibrate that low and being emotional about this. We already know those people hate our guts. And then people that look like us.
The 23-year-old's death. Thank you for joining us for the news at 5. I'm Hannah Kim.
And I'm David Rose. Otterer is also the police union vice president. Today, Kandula's family told us this video is disturbing and saddening to them. Fox 13 News reporter AJ Janabel has more from her family and reaction from the community. AJ?
This investigation comes a week after a federal judge ruled to remove most accountability restrictions on the Seattle Police Department. Now, even though we're seeing this body cam footage for the first time this week, I learned that the Office of Police Accountability has already been looking into this case for more than a month. With so many people seeing this video this week, they tell me they want answers fast. In late January, 23-year-old Janavi Kandula was hit and killed as she crossed the street by a Seattle police officer driving more than 3 times the speed limit to an overdose call.
But she is dead.
This is body cam footage from Officer Daniel Otterer talking about Kandula.
This video is heartbreaking, shockingly insensitive, and is damn.
Well, it's not. We already know what those people do and what they, you know, that's what they are. There is nothing to be ashamed of. He's a beast, a demon. He came out. You know, a pig is made to play in the mud, in the filth, and eating his own poop and fecal matter. And we can't blame him for being a pig. That's what it is. Stop pretending you people are civilized. You aren't.
Damaging to the trust that the department is trying to build with Seattle communities.
Seattle City Council member Lisa Herbold addressed the video before the city's public safety meeting this week, and other community leaders are dismayed by the footage.
I was in disbelief when I saw it and heard it.
Victoria Beach is the chair of the African American Advisory Council for the Seattle Police Department. She's worked with SPD for 5 years, attempting to build stronger relationships with officers and the community.
And black folks, and which those are the people they put in front of us, and you know, to build a trust, you know, for the same people that are put in there to brutalize. This cop didn't do anything wrong, man. He's a vile beast. He acts like a vile beast. I don't see the problem here. People are, oh my God, this is like shocking and stuff. We don't vibrate that low here. We already know who you are. We're not shocked. We don't react to things because we know who you are. And congratulations for removing this human skin off of you and show us that beast that you truly are.
I will be talking to the chief, and
the name Victoria, okay, Victoria Beach, which the water, the ocean, you know, certain things in there.
I can't continue the work
that can be killed. You know, the Book of Job. You know what to do
if officers aren't going to be held accountable.
She tells me these few seconds of body cam footage can be enough to destroy years of work.
Yeah, just write a check. Just $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
Janavi's family told Fox 13 News in a statement, the young woman is beloved beyond any dollar amount, and all human lives are invaluable and should not be belittled.
I just can't imagine somebody talking about my loved one like she's a piece of trash.
Okay, so they make it seems like, excuse me, they make it seems like the 26-year-old was her daughter. When they played another use, they begin what she just said right here. Okay, they just begin with that. Okay, they begin with this statement.
Amount, and all human lives are invaluable and should not be belittled.
Here's the statement that they begin with.
I just can't imagine somebody talking about my loved one like she's a piece of trash.
And that they make it seem like the girl was her daughter, and she was, you know, black, one of us, and things like that. When it's convenient, the so-called East Indians are black. When things happen to them, they are just like us. Now they need the black community to go out there and then, hey, say some hey, show us, man, we're brothers. But when they got their high-paying job, they got their good tech job, they stay far the hell away from our people, man. Hey, I don't want you guys to speak for me. I don't know you. You don't know me.
And laughing about it.
Okay, she has limited value, 26 years old, because that's how those guys see women. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of our men see women too. Okay, over there, this guy is standing right next to 12th Avenue. Okay, that's how they see women. And their women see men as this too, as high value men. People looking for values, man. I'm shopping, Big Levi. Gotta look for that value in this man and this woman. Okay, this cop is a high value man. He's a police officer making like $100,000 a year, you know, with a shady attitude, with a narcissistic mind. And you will have women all run and say, well, as long as he paid the bills, he maintained me, buy me that BBL and that breast implant and all, I look good on social media. And that's why you see the abuse is going on. That's why you see those guys always die 988. That's why it's because they got backwarded temperament, they got backwarded emotion, they got backwarded way of life. They are high value men, I'll give you that. A police officer is probably the highest value you can get out there. And then high maintenance women, and that's how they see people. And unfortunately, I see a lot of our brethren adopting this nonsense. Looking for high maintenance women. Why would you want to get... Anyway, man, Big Levi don't do dating things like that. Alright, let's keep on moving, man. Alright, this is...
I had stayed up at my mom's, but I came in this morning.
Okay, I'm just going to take a minute out of this. This is 2 weeks after Hurricane Idalia, okay?
Not thinking, well, when all this was over with, not thinking, you know, what I was going to walk into. You know how you walk into something, you don't expect to see what you see. This is what I walk into. I started crying. I was upset. I was really upset. This ain't my first time losing. You know, my bedrooms are still intact. Material things can be replaced, but it's just the point. You know, I was just getting my stuff together. I was getting it together, putting it together, and it's done. That's it.
And if there's one thing 83 likes, it's material things. So the reason why I bought this quote unquote this video concerning Florida things in there, it is because I wanted to let the people, remind the people that this thing is happening to a very specific group of people, a very specific group of demographic of people, very specific group of people that don't look like us, but yet they are catching a lot of hell. Yet they are catching things left and right, and people don't want to talk about it. But we already talked about the hurricane, so we're going to move to the next video.
We have some breaking news this hour from downtown Los Angeles. This is a live look at the scene on the 300 block of East 4th Street. That's where LA City firefighters are battling a massive structure fire in the Toy District. The building is described as a 5,000 square foot, 3-story commercial building. Fire crews are going on the defensive because of the massive flames. And of course, we do have a crew headed there on the ground, and we will have a full report on the KTLA 5 News starting at 3 o'clock.
Always something going on over there. Let's keep on moving.
4 Dallas police officers were hit by a car while working an unrelated crime.
Good
it
grief.
happened in northwest Dallas, near Dallas Love Field. Fox 4's Alex Boyer is live with what happened. Alex.
Hi, Clarice. You know, a scary situation for these 4 Dallas police officers. They were focused on what was going on in front of them, and despite having cover behind them, they were hit by this driver. Early Thursday morning, Dallas police officers were hyper-focused on a shooting suspect who barricaded himself inside of a home just northwest of Love Field. Investigators say 22-year-old Angel Morales refused to come out after he shot a man. During that investigation, officers were set up on a perimeter around the scene. That's when police say an uninvolved driver, 45-year-old Christopher Ramirez, drove through the perimeter.
I mean, look at the guy, man. Look at the guy eyes. Look at the fellow, you know. A guy like this, I mean, come on, man. You really don't need to know people. Like, you just look at the guy in the face and look at him in the belly and the eyes. Like, something is not right. I don't know. I'm not going to say something is wrong, but I know when something is not right. And people were like, oh, Big Leaf, we need to pray for him. And then he's just like, you know, he just was heat distortion. He was just disturbed by the heat. No, sir. No, sir. It's 2 things. Is that this guy is a demon or he's a demon on meth. Yeah, let's keep on moving.
Driver, 45-year-old Christopher Ramirez.
Okay, the dude is 45. You know what to do.
Drove through the perimeter, then around a fire truck and hit the marked patrol car.
You put them there for a reason, so folks don't go through that street.
Frederick Frazier is the first vice president of the Dallas Police Association. The crash was hard enough to cause an officer sitting in the front of the patrol car to be thrown from the vehicle, and then the patrol car itself hit 3 other officers standing nearby. The officers were taken by ambulance to the hospital.
And the one thing they're focused on is what's ahead of them. They're not focused on what's going to come behind them because they've got the fire truck.
The officers were treated at the hospital and later released. Ramirez stayed at the scene and was charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault and 4 counts of passing an authorized emergency vehicle. At this time, investigators say there was no indication that Ramirez was impaired at the time of the crash. Frazier said he's grateful the officers are physically okay.
By the grace of God, they're okay, because that could go in a completely different way. And some of this comes down to training, and some of this comes down to luck.
And it turns out they were lucky. Now, as far as that shooting suspect is concerned, Angel Morales, he tried to escape out of a window during all of this, but was ultimately taken into custody by police. He has been charged with aggravated assault.
Wow, the pigs are catching hell. Hell's going on over there in Dallas, man.
And we begin with breaking news. In the past hour, we learned that a Dallas police officer has taken his own life.
Yeah, this happened Tuesday, just 1 day after he was involved in a shooting that left the suspect dead. Tiffany Liu is live in our newsroom with more details and context on this developing story.
Yeah, Chris and Izzy, this is what we know now. The shooting happened on Monday. Sources tell us the U.S. Marshals Task Force was serving an arrest warrant that morning at an apartment complex on Tyler Street in Dallas. Mesquite and Dallas police were assisting, and DPD officer Matthew Bacon was there. Police say the murder suspect they were after pointed a firearm toward the officers. Bacon was one of 4 who fired his weapon at the suspect. Police say a suspect weapon was recovered and the vehicle was reported stolen, but because it was a U.S. Marshals case, no officers were wearing body cameras due to a federal memorandum of understanding. Dallas PD says in an effort to be transparent, they released available surveillance video. You can't see or hear much of what happened, but that's all that was released this afternoon within the last hour. Now we know the suspect died at the hospital, and then a day later is when Officer Bacon died by suicide. WFA received an internal memo that the chief sent out to officers. It said Officer Bacon was an 18-year veteran of the Dallas Police Department.
Yeah. That's not suspicious at all. This guy, they told him to not wearing a camera, just one of those body camera, and then the guy ended up dying, and a month later, a day later, they find him dead by suicide. Okay. Okay then. Great glory.
No. Are you high? That's assault, mister. I shoved him going, hey man, what's wrong with, what's going on? And, I kind of last ditch effort did this.
Go ahead, put your hands behind your back for me.
On October 8th, 2022, the incident began with a seemingly harmless dispute over golf balls and the pace of play on the golf course.
So again, beloved, what you are seeing here is those people can't control their anger, man. They are going after each other through the freaking golf, and they are killing each other, beat each other, 988 each other. So we stay out of it, all right? Just keep on going.
In Massachusetts, catastrophic flooding hit the town of Leominster this week. A state of emergency was declared in the city about 40 miles northwest of Boston. Up to 11 inches of rain fell over the past 2 days, and it caused rivers to overflow, flooded homes, washed out roads, forced hundreds of evacuations. Residents living near an old dam were told to get out over concern that it could give way. More rain is forecast for today and over the weekend. So joining us now is the mayor of Leominster, Dean Mazzarella. Mayor Mazzarella, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning. I know you were probably exhausted, so I'm glad that you were here with us. I got to tell you, I saw the coverage.
Yeah, so Boston, Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., a lot of flooding going on. And people just sit there and like, Big Levi, you have to understand, the U.S. is doing this because they control the weather. Yeah. The elite is doing this because they control the weather. Yeah. The Chinese is doing this, okay? The Chinese are doing that because they control the weather. Okay, Hong Kong has been hit by the highest hourly rain since record began in 1939. Okay, so, well, the Chinese is doing that. Yeah, get out of here, man. You think they are doing this to themselves? Nah. We already talk about this, okay?
The time to make your house safe was a year ago, or 6 months ago, or a month ago.
It's crunch time for tree crews. They've been busy all week cleaning up yards and are in the final hours before the impacts of Lee reach New Hampshire.
For homeowners, if there's a tree on the wires, don't touch it. And if you have a generator, make sure that it was properly hooked up by a proper electrician, a licensed electrician.
Those generators could be roaring if Lee knocks out power. Power companies like Unitil and Eversource were all about the prep work today, getting crews ready to roll out once the storm rolls in.
Making sure the system is ready, making sure we have all the equipment needed to respond to potential outages.
We try and follow that plan as consistently as we can, and then also improve upon it after every storm.
Eversource had their tree trimmers out to clean up branches near power lines, hoping to avoid as many outages as possible. Both companies bringing in extra hands and will be on standby if the lights go out.
But as long as it's safe to do so, our crews will be.
So, and as you can see, beloved, the Gentiles is not at peace at all. This thing is pretty much all over. Everything that they are doing is just something always come after them. So, great. We're just going to stop here for today. And I don't want to create a post. I don't know why I did this. I want to upload a video. There you go. All right then. So, beloved, as you can see, as you heard, the Gentiles, they are suffering from a lot of things. Left and right are hating them. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know where to run. A lot of them, they are dismayed, and they are those people have no idea what's going on out there. They are shocked. A lot of them know this thing is happening because they effed up. They've done terrible and horrible things unto us. But of course, we must count on the pride. We must count that they're gonna get prider and prider, because that's how the curse work. And once the Holy One break them down, of course, it's already too late. They will come in running unto us. Beloved, I will leave you with peace. There'll be no Jacob's trouble. Be at peace, friend. Know that the Holy One is fighting for you, is in the midst of you, is in the midst of the whole nation. And not all black people or Israelites. Okay? Stop with this garbage. All right? Shalom.